And first of all, welcome to Theater for the New City and welcome to the New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts Class of 2021 Bound Project. The performances will be without an intermission. In the unlikely event of an emergency, there are two exits that I must bring to your attention. The first one is back the way you came in. The second option is in the rear right-hand corner of this auditorium. Either illuminated exit sign to lead you safely to the 10th Street side of the building. Please take a moment right now, if you haven't done so already, to turn off or mute any cellular telephones or electronic devices. If it lights up or makes noise, please turn it off right now. Also, please no photography, no flash photography, no cell phone photography, no photography or recording of any kind, unless it's your kid. Then you're welcome to take photographs. However, we ask that you refrain from using a flash. And lastly, our friend Lisa is here to say a few words. Thank you, welcome, and enjoy.
Thank you so much for coming out and supporting this project and for supporting the students. They've all worked very, very hard. And mostly I want to say welcome back to Live Theater. We're so
Welcome to the space. This is our space. And these are our stories. The tears I'm shedding now, I hear will dry in time. The fears I'm fearing now, I hear will die in time. But while I wait around for tomorrow, watching life drift away, what about, yes, what about today? I know if I just wait, the sun will shine someday. And when it does, the weather will be fine someday. But once I search for tomorrow, say that same shade of gray. What about, yes, what about today? Till the fire comes. What about today? Till the Messiah comes. What about today? Till the mountains move and ocean part and angels singing life and soar. What about, yes, what about today? I can't help wondering if tomorrow ever comes. And what's my life been lived for if it never comes? I've heard a lot of talks through tomorrow, but none of them ever say, what about today? What about today? Till the fire comes. What about today? Till the Messiah comes. What about today? Till the mountains move and oceans part and angels singing life and star. What about, yes, what about today? I can't help wondering if tomorrow ever comes. And what's my life been lived for if it never comes? I've heard a lot of toasts to tomorrow, but none of them ever say, what about today? What about today? What about, yes, what about today? Today.
Glad y'all can make it tonight.
Oh.
I stood there on the tallest platform of our white, colored reflective set, arms outstretched in a familiar pose against a cross in the fence posts. Oh God, I'm dying. Oh God, I'm dying. I inhale, then take my final breath. The blinding blue lights fade to a stunning indigo backlight. Oh God, I'm dead! The theater is silent beside the growing electronic reverb of the piano. In my state of death, I feel the intense energy of the enticed theater, nobody daring to so much as breathe. I knew in that moment, this is what I have to do for the rest of my life. Live in living color, let me take you for a ride. Yes, I'm live in living color. So sit back and let me be your TV guide. I've got a story I'd like to tell, but I'm gonna need help to tell it well. I've got a story about fame and money. It's got more curves than a Playboy bunny. I wanna live, not just survive. I wanna tell my story live and in living color.
Live in living color.
Something special's up tonight. Yes, I'm
Live
alive
in living color.
like being lived in black and white. My name is Jamie Buchanan. I'm 22 years old from South Beach, New York. My name has also been Leo, Alex, Seance, Frey, and insert dead names here. I've been a lot of different people since I was a child, trying to figure out which one is right. A big reason for that, of course, is because I was assigned the wrong identity at birth. You see, for the first 14 years of my life, I was told I was a strange, unique girl, always off in their own world. This was mostly true, of course, except for the obvious. I'm not a girl. When I first discovered that I could escape this gender assignment and present as male, I finally stepped into being my true self. What's a name? Just window dressing. Everybody knows that it's the most that makes a man. Name. Just keep on guessing. Mix and match me, try to catch me if you can. I started going out for male roles in high school theater, and I was euphoric when I would be cast as such. Roles like Prince Herbert in Sandlot, or Tobias in Sweeney Todd. How would you like to play Jesus in my senior year production of Godspell? You see, being from a small conservative town, the idea of a trans man playing Jesus was worthy of local news. The irony, of course, is that I'm also a gay pagan. The community that we built during Godspell showed me that I'm destined for more than this. It showed me that theater is where I belong, and I'm destined for more than the life I've been living. I got a story that's changed my truth!
I got a story that's changed my truth!
Fly with me for a bird's eye view!
Fly with me for a bird's eye view!
I got the world at my command! I'll be your one-man Disneyland!
I'll be your one-man Disneyland!
I don't want to wait for the cops to arrive. I want to tell my story live and
Live in living color!
Yes, I'm
Live in living color!
your eyes and I'll be gone. Yes, I'm live in living color. Tune me in and turn me on. Yes, I'm live in living color. Blink your eyes and I'll be gone.
Hi, my name is Megan Wanderstalker, and I'm originally from San Diego, California. In San Diego, I found Christian Youth Theater when I was just 11 years old. And during the 10 years I did CYT, many other theater companies around San Diego County categorized us as a cult. I always thought cult was a bit dramatic of a word to use until I looked up the definition. a relatively small group of people participating in a religious practice or belief, regarded by others as strange or sinister. The three categories that make up a cult are: 1, a charismatic leader; 2, brainwashing and manipulation; and 3, what the national news picked up about CYT last year: many instances of racism, classism, homophobia, and sexual assault. I used to be this company's biggest cheerleader, believe it or not. I just wanted a sense of community so badly, and that is exactly what I got. The parts that affected me the most were homophobia towards my family and my self-confidence. One of the things I experienced while I was there was when I did Shrek the Musical with this company. We were rehearsing the number Freak Flag, and we were given assorted colored flags to hold up at the end of the number. Nobody thought anything of it until an adult associated with the company said that didn't align with their values and beliefs, and we were promoting a different lifestyle. Another thing I experienced is when I expressed interest in doing a show with a different theater company. One of the leaders of CYT texted me, "You sure you want to do that? There's really talented people over there. I'm just looking out for your best interests." My confidence was essentially non-existent when I finally left the company, even got a degree in something totally different because I thought I wasn't good enough for musical theater. But then I decided to move to New York. On the other side of the tracks, that is where I'm going to be. On the other side of that great divide between fame and fortune and me. Gonna put my shadows behind me, give my inhibitions the axe, and tomorrow morning you'll find me on the other side of the tracks, on the other side of that line, where life is fancy and free. Gonna sit and fan on my fat divan while the butlers the tea. But for now I'm facing the fences, and I can't afford to relax when the whole caboodle commences on the other side of the tracks. So I moved to New York, and I realized I could do this the entire time. So I'm on there running over the rails, I'm going on and after the quail, on there running, sending the mail to the great big world on the other side, the great big world on the farther side, the great big world on the other side of the tracks, to the great big world that'll open wide, to the great big world on the other side of the tracks.
I was not in a cult, but I was raised Catholic. I'm Valerie, and I'm from Ecuador, which is in South America, for the ones that failed the geography class. A lot of Americans have failed that class, I've noticed. So Ecuador is a very small and religious country, so was most people around me. The city I lived in was very small, and the arts were not appreciated at all. When I was 13, I joined a dance studio that had just opened in my city. When I was 16, my studio decided to make a production of Chicago. Now, this is not what you're thinking. Most parts were censored and the outfits were not revealing at all. So yeah, we kind of made the Catholic version of Chicago. Adding to that, the production was very poorly executed. We didn't have a theater, we used 2 lights for the full show, and we didn't even sing live. But I didn't care. I love Catholic Chicago more than anything. That's where I am today. And now, let me show you 16-year-old Valerie do family-friendly Chicago. Name on everybody's lips, it's gonna be Roxy. The lady raking and the chips, it's gonna be Roxy. a celebrity. I mean somebody everyone knows. They're gonna recognize my eyes, my hair, my teeth, and my nose. Because I'm up to New York. And that religious trauma. From just some dumb mechanic's wife, I'm gonna be Roxy, who sets out murders not a And who, in case she doesn't hurt, can say she started with a bang. Roxy, Roxy, I like this version better. They're gonna wait outside and like to get to see Roxy. Think of those autographs, I'll start collecting you, Roxy. And I'll appear at lavalier that goes all the way down to my waist. Here a ring, there a ring, everywhere a ring, but always in the best of taste. I'm keeping up my humdrum life, I'm gonna be staying Roxy. She made a scandal and a star. And zombie talk her shit I know to see her naked from below. Roxy, Roxy,
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Tony. I am from Crestview, Florida. And if you don't know where that is, nor do Floridians, you're fine. Honestly, it's probably better if you don't know where that is, as, how's the best way to put this? It sucks. Down the road, there's a Dairy Queen. Up the block, there's a Walmart. There's a place you can accessorize your pets. A school, a tree, a couple of churches. No matter how hard anybody searches, that's about as thrilling as this dumbass village gets. The only thing that made me feel better about living there was the arts. As a little kid, I quickly made up my mind I wanted to be a singer after seeing a Beyonce music video. It just clicked in my mind, that's what I wanted to do, sing and dance. And after seeing Dreamgirls, I thought I wanted to act as well. Be a triple threat. Why not? Lamest place in the world, but it just got a little bit better. So don't disappear, it's the lamest place in the world. And I'm pretty sure it's not as lame as it was before, now that you're here. Even though I knew I wanted to pursue the arts, there was still the problem of my town. Not only was there anything there, where I lived, people were very into sports. So people didn't really care about the arts at all. So I basically taught myself everything. The extent of me learning to sing was singing along with some of my favorite artists. And as for acting, I did scenes and monologues in high school, and I was in one play. That was it. We only got to do theater in high school. And as for dancing, I taught myself to well mimicked how my favorite singers danced. 40 miles to the nearest river, 60 miles to the airport. We make our escape, that's where it's gonna have to be. It's a shame, it's a shame, it's a terrible pity. You got dragged away from New York City. It's a major sum for you, but it's an amazing one for me. Honestly, after high school, I didn't know what was gonna happen to me. I knew I didn't want to go to college, but I didn't want to stay home. Sorry, I'm a little emotional. But I didn't want to stay home, and I thought about getting a job to save money so that I could just move. But my parents really wanted me to go to school. So luckily I got 2 letters in the mail for 2 different performing arts schools. Even then I thought it was a long shot because both were in New York, and I wasn't sure my parents would be cool with it. But luckily, my mom was really chill, and she helped me fill out the application and drove me to another state because there wasn't a place to audition where I lived. And now, I'm here.
base of the mountain. The air up there is very thin, but it never bothered me. It's funny how humans will adapt to constant factors in their environment. Thin air is just air when it's all you've ever known. Parents fighting is just home when it's all you've ever known. Humans adapt. It's how we survive. How we adapt as children defines who we become as adults. Sometimes I wonder, what if I hadn't adapted? What if I didn't need to? Would my perceptions of love be different? Would trust be easier and relationships less complicated? Or is complication just the nature of relationships? Growing up, I felt like I was unlovable, incapable of understanding the complexities of love because my parents couldn't. But as I've gotten older, I realized love isn't something anyone understands. And I'm surrounded by love. I have theater. I have my friends. I have my family. So would it be different if I hadn't adapted? I don't think I'll ever know. Thin air is just air when it's all you've ever known. All of these lines across my face tell you the story of who I am. So many stories of where I've been and how I got to where I am. But these stories don't mean anything when you've got no one to tell them to. It's true. I was made for you. I climbed across the mountain tops, sailed across the ocean blue, crossed all the lines and I broke all the rules. Baby, I broke them all for you. Because even when I was half broke, you made me feel like $1,000,000. You do. And I was made for you. You see the smile that's on my mouth. It's hiding the words that won't come out. I have friends who think that I'm blessed. They don't know my head's a mess. No, they don't know who I really am. And they don't know what I've been through like you do. And I was made for you. All of these lines across my face tell you the story of who I am. So many stories of where I've been and how I got to where I am. But these stories don't mean anything when you've got no one to tell them to. It's true. I was made for you. Oh yeah, it's true. I was made for
Hello, my name is Cassie Walker, and I'm from sunny San Diego, California, the place of earthquakes, Mexican food, and Daisy Dukes with bikinis on top. And like so many young girls, when I was 5 years old, I wanted to be a ballerina. I slowly started acting in musical theater, but ballet was my main focus. After almost a decade of trying to balance ballet and musical theater, it was finally my time to go on point. But unlike most girls, I had to go to physical therapy to gain ankle strength and flexibility. My body had to be perfect for ballet. I would go to classes 6 days a week. Many girls would develop eating disorders, and we would all receive very harsh comments from the teachers. This took a major toll on my body image, and all this, along with being a young teen, I felt as if I was never enough. Some of my lowest points were in 2015, and I wrote in my diary at the time that I don't tell people my feelings because they'll think I'm a drama queen or I'm annoying. Everything has its season, everything has its time. Show me a reason and I'll soon show you rhyme. Cats fit on the windowsill and children in the snow. So why do I feel I don't fit anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. Throughout high school, I started feeling better about myself, but I had to stop ballet completely, which was so hard for me to do. But I was able to focus more on musical theater, and it wasn't until I was choosing my major for college that I realized it's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. My first year of college, I went to Concordia University, Irvine, which, don't get me wrong, it was great, but going to a Lutheran college when I wasn't raised religious at all was rough. Along with my religious conflict, it was my first time away from my family, and the infamous freshman 15. I went to a four-year university because it's what society and my family wanted, but I wasn't happy at all. I was lost. I came to realize that I was really only happy in my theater classes. Every man has his daydreams, every man has his goal. People like the big dreams have us speaking to the soul. Thunder clouds have their lightning, and nightingales have their song. And don't you see, I want my life to be something more than long. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. So I made my way to New York, and I was finally getting confident and comfortable with my body, and then, as we know, the pandemic hit, and I had to go back home to California. But my classes ended at 3 p.m. due to the time difference, so I was able to spend my time in the sun and find what really made me happy. Quarantine was really bad for a lot of people, but it really helped me. This goes to show that the journey to happiness isn't linear, and I still have my bad days, but I know it'll be okay. I still have so much more life to live. Who knows what place I'll be next? So many men seem destined to settle for something small, but I won't rest until I know I'll have it all. So don't ask where I'm going, just listen when I'm gone, and suddenly you'll hear me singing softly to the dawn. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. Got to be where my spirit can run free. I gotta find my corner of the sky. The ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes its flight. From a distance there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope, it's the voice of peace, it's the voice of every man.
They're the souls of every man. God is watching us. God is watching us. God is watching us from a distance. God is watching us. God is watching us. God is watching us from a distance. From a distance, look like my friend, even though we are at war. From a distance, I just cannot comprehend what all this fighting's for. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the hope of hopes, it's the love of loves, it's the heart of every man. God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. From a distance. From a distance.
My name is Cristal Araujo. I'm from the Dominican Republic, and I love my hair. I grew up living. Natural hair wasn't pretty. Living in a society where women with afros were discriminated against, to the point that we had to straighten our hair just to feel accepted. My light-skinned mama used to say,
We gotta straighten that hair.
and everyone would call me
Pelo
Pelo back hair. What does that even mean? So I straightened my hair my whole life, every week, just like the other black girls, causing so much damage to our hair. I never felt like I belonged. I always loved to act, dance, sing, but I never had the opportunity to perform. Until one day, I found this festival about the African roots in the Dominican Republic, and I was fascinated by everything I saw. The colors, the poetry, the music. People with hair like mine, feeling completely free and proud. I belonged. When the festival ended, I happened to meet the director of one of the theater groups, and I begged him to let me in because I wanted to learn about my roots. He asked me what I can do, and I said, I can sing, and he let me in. We worked on so many plays about the history of the Dominican Republic, and we traveled the whole country just exploring it and recreating the life of amazing and real characters. The more I learned, the more I found my true self. I had so many emotions at the same time. I was so happy, I was learning so much, and also so angry. I was never taught any of these things at school or at home. Months passed by, and I adapted quickly to this group, but things got tense at home. My mama thought I was going crazy because I decided to chop my hair off and grow an afro. She said I was gonna look ugly and nobody was going to accept me.
Te vas a ver fea y nadie te va a aceptar.
Of course, I was hurt and frustrated, but that didn't stop me. I knew that if I wanted to grow as a person, as an actor, follow my dreams, I needed to get a scholarship and leave. And I did. I graduated from high school and I got a scholarship to study abroad. Hey, Mama! Say bye-bye to this hair because I'm cutting it all up and I'm growing my fro. Sister, you've been on my mind. Oh, sister, you're two of a kind. So, sister, I'm keeping my eyes on you. I bet you think I don't know nothing.
going at home at a time. So shake your shimmy, sister. Honey's girl is feeling fine. And if you don't like my hair, you're probably just jealous.
Hello, my name is Marilyn Gates. I'm a Jersey girl who moved to Delaware, and I have been chasing after a Mamma Mia fantasy for my entire life. You see, ever since I was younger, I have dreamed of growing up to become just like Sophie Sheridan. Because, well, just like her, I didn't know who my father was for most of my life. He was a total mystery to me. My mom didn't talk about him, and I did not ask. Watching Mamma Mia was 1 hour and 50 minutes where I could immerse myself in a world where not knowing who my father was could be this big adventure with a happily ever after. When I was 12 years old, my mom sat me down and showed me a PowerPoint presentation made by my father about his life and his family. Suddenly, my lifelong mystery was solved. My father was a man named David who was from and lived in England. We started messaging each other, and despite the fact that I was getting what I had always dreamed of, it all felt wrong. I was never provided with any explanation for his very noticeable absence, and he never even tried to apologize for missing over a decade of my life. I kept messaging with him because I thought that that was the right thing to do, but messaging with him always made me really uncomfortable. Even after he came to New York City and we met in person for the very first time, the only thing that I could feel when I was standing next to him was overwhelming anxiety. Despite this, I decided it would be best to just push all of my feelings aside. I thought that one day I could just learn to be okay with him. Don't know how to take it, don't know where to go. My resistance running low, and every day the hold is getting tighter and it troubles me so. I'm nobody's fool, and yet it's clear to me I don't have a strategy. It's just like taking candy from a baby, and I think I must be under attack. I'm being taken, about to crack, defenses breaking. Won't somebody please help me? Come and rescue me now, 'cause I'm falling apart. Under attack, I'm taking cover. They're on my track, free dad's one lover. Thinking nothing can stop him now. Should I want to? I'm not sure I would know how. Months went by when my dad told me that his girlfriend was pregnant. I was gonna have a little sister. After she was born, a plan was proposed to me. I would go to England for 2 weeks without my mom and stay with my dad so that I could meet my little sister and attend her first birthday party. I agreed to go, but it would all turn out to be a huge mistake. So what happened? I mean, what could have been so awful about a 2-week vacation to England? Well, the truth is, I can't remember. I blocked it out. Those 2 weeks are a total black hole in my memory. There are 2 things that I remember with absolute certainty. I remember when I got on the plane to go to London, and I remember getting off the plane when I got back to America. I mean, of course, there are things that I know happened because there are pictures, but those aren't memories. Luckily, though, one I did write in a diary. Every single night that I was there, I wrote about experiencing the symptoms of what I now know were my very first anxiety attacks. I would get them just from being in the same room as my dad and talking to him. And one night, I wrote this. I don't belong here. You're supposed to be my family, but I never felt more alone. I am supposed to be your daughter, but you don't even know me, and it feels like you're not trying. After I got back to America, my life continued on like normal. The last thing I wanted was for anyone to be worrying about me. But as I transitioned into high school, my life got way more complicated, and my mental health was on a very steep decline. I knew I had to do something. I had to make myself feel just a little bit better. And the way that I thought to do that was by getting my dad the hell out of my life. This is getting really let my anger show. I feel like I am trapped in a nightmare. I don't know where to go. Yes, it's what I wanted, but I'm scared as hell. Staring down the deepest well. I hardly dare to think of what would happen. Where I'd be if I fell under attack. I'm being taken, about to crack. Defenses breaking. Will somebody please have a heart? Come and rescue me now, cause I'm falling apart. Under attack, I'm taking cover. They're on my track, 3 dads, 1 lover. Thinking nothing can stop him now. Should I want to, I'm not sure I would know how. Despite the fact that I no longer have any contact with my father, I knew I couldn't just ignore my sister for her whole life, or I would be just as bad as him. She's 7 years old now, and we talk on Skype sometimes. Our calls usually do not last very long, because if I hear my dad's voice in the background, or I see him walk behind her in the camera, surprise, I have a panic attack. Still, I know that one day I'm gonna have to see him again. My sister asks me all the time when I'm gonna come and visit her, and as much as I want to, I can only make excuses for so long. So, my lifelong dreams of becoming just like Sophie Sheridan did not come true. Still, we do have some similar character traits. We're both kind, optimistic, determined, loving, and bubbly, among other things. But I think that the most important lesson that the both of us learned is that it isn't blood that binds a family together, it's love. Sophie has no idea which of her 3 dads are the real one, but that doesn't matter to her because she loves them all. People in my life, like my mom, my stepdad, my grandfather, aunts, uncles, and cousins, my best friends, and my theater group back home, my incredible section, and some of my teachers. They are the people that I love more than anything in the world. They are my family. And they are the people who are helping me make all of my dreams come true. I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels, when I know the time is right for me. Across the stream, I have a dream.
There was once a girl stuck between 2 countries she loved, yet she never knew where she belonged. Her name is Samantha Baconero. Her abuela calls her Sama, but everyone around her knows her as Sam. A short Mexican girl of 20 years and a head full of dreams. That girl is me, and through my grandma's orchid garden, ballet classes, and a broken suitcase, I ended up in Texas, where I barely knew the language, and everything I once was in Mexico kept slipping away. The first few years flew fast. The joyful child I once was kept disappearing, and I became shy and depressed since I was forced to quit the one thing I truly loved, which was dance. I can't remember anything from when I first arrived to America, but what I can remember is feeling misplaced, as there was one set beauty standard in the industry, and I clearly didn't look like it. But little did I know from that West Side Story DVD that my world was going to shift. I had never seen such a powerful woman like Rita Moreno. In many ways, she gave me the courage to do what I wanted to do more. Puerto Rico, you lovely island, my land of tropical breezes. Always the pineapples growing, always the coffee blossoms blowing. Puerto Rico, you ugly island, my land of tropic diseases. Always the hurricanes blowing, always the population growing.
the baby's crying, and the bullets flying. I like the island Manhattan. Smoke on your pipe and put that in. Soon enough, I started dancing again and performing in the small community theater 15 minutes from my house. I felt the joys that were once taken away from me. From dance classes to shows to AP classes, my life was constantly busy. Yet I was living the American dream that my parents fought so hard to give me. And though there were hardship at times, I knew it was right for me to be in America. I like to be in America, only let me in America. Everything's free in America, there's no free in America. Every girl goes to America, many loves in America. Nobody knows in America, Puerto Rico's in America.
There was once a young girl surrounded by the strong roots of her country, and her head floated around the trees.
I like the shores of America, pretty shores in America, mountains and woods in America, walls was in America. I like to be in America. I like to be in America.
My name is Billy Angle Jr., and performing arts and musical theater saved my life. I remember the first time I got involved with performing arts. At first, it was because, well, I wasn't very good at school. You could ask some of my teachers in the audience, I'm still not very great at school. Hey, Michael. But, luckily for me, I was in a performing arts school, so I had numerous creative outlets to turn to. Stage special effects being among one of them. When I first joined the program, I thought of it as nothing more than a way to get out of detention, or a way to get my grades looking somewhat acceptable, because they were not looking somewhat acceptable. No. And it's so interesting to me, because right from the very beginning, right from the get-go, such a simple solution, theater. But one I would never have admitted to enjoying at the time. Until that first dress rehearsal. It was Les Mis. Lights, costume, music. And I paid attention to the story that they had been preparing. And by the time that story was done, my life changed forever. I didn't want to just be in the booth. I wanted to do everything theater had to offer and more. And so, on a lot of passion and a shot of redemption, I raced home, soaking in all the musicals I could get my hands into, falling in love with the art form, the culture, the stories, the music, Broadway. I knew I needed this feeling. And so the following year, I went into the musical theater class, and I saw the director. And he looked at me, but not as a delinquent, but as a nerdy kid, or a genius, or a hero. I like that. And now, I've completed a summer intensive. I'm almost complete with a 2-year program where I've gotten to work with some of my favorite people to this day. And I'm proud to say, fellow humans, that we've come a long way since our punky days. But no matter who we were in our past, we can be anyone we want in our future, so long as we're ourselves in the present. And I don't know what comes next, but I'll never forget where it began. There, out in the darkness, a fugitive running, fallen from God and fallen from grace. God be my witness, I never shall yield till we come face to face. Till we come face to face. He knows his way in the dark, mine's the way of the Lord. And those who follow the path of the righteous shall earn their reward. And if you fall as Lucifer fell, the flame, the sword stars in your multitudes, scarce to be counted, and still in the darkness, with water and light, you are the sentinels, silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night. You know your place in the sky, you hold your course in your aim, and in each season returns and returns, and is always the same. And if you fall as Lucifer fell, you'll fall in flames. And so it must be, for so it is written on the doorways of paradise, that those who falter and those who fall shall pay the price. Lord, let me find him, that I may see him, safe behind bars. I will never rest till then. This I swear, this I swear by the stars.
A long time ago, in the westernmost sovereign state of mainland Europe, the bastard child of a socialite and an illegal immigrant was born. Hi, my name is Maite, and I was born and raised in Lisbon, Portugal, a garden planted by the seaside. And yes, 24 years is a long time. I'm almost due for a quarter-life crisis. When I was a child, my cousins were born in Massachusetts. So my grandmother would go back and forth between Portugal and the US, bringing me gifts whenever she came back. Some of those gifts were Barney the Dinosaur VHS tapes. See, told you it was a long time ago. That's how I started learning English as a toddler. And by the age of 7, I had rejected all Portuguese culture and media. You see, when I was about 6 years old, my father lived in the pool house of one of his pretty rich friends. And he had a daughter about my age who went to this fancy private school full of other pretty rich kids. And one of those kids had just moved to LA to audition for Disney. And at that point, something clicked in my head. I know I can sing, I know I can dance, I just need someone to give me a chance. I can see clearly, I won't find it here. Give me my wings so I can disappear. And so it had begun. My borderline obsessive fascination with the United States of America had started. I started trying to convince my mother and eventually my stepfather to move to the US with me. Hey, Mom! So don't you want to live in the mountains? I saw this cozy 2-bedroom home in Utah that I would know you love. So, want to get away from the city life? I found this ranch in Tennessee that would be perfect for our family. So, I know you know that I want to be a singer, and there's this art school in New York that would be perfect for me. I even tried to apply for a green card for the lottery when I was about 10 years old. I got to the end of the form and I realized that I could not submit it because I was, well, 10. The the summer before I went back to college, my grandmother took me on a trip to New York City. It was my first time away from Europe, my first time in the US, and here's my review. It's humid and nasty and everything stinks. It's hot and it's smelly and people are mean. The music up here and lights all around. Could this really be the place where I'm found? I started applying to schools here 3 months later. At first, the whole plan was to come here and stay for my life. Live the American dream. Then the visa application process started. It was expensive and I felt like every single aspect of my life was under scrutiny. And I can't bring myself to live in a place where I have to ask permission to just exist here. My future is just mine to decide and mine to build. It's out of control, it's no longer my will. No matter whatever may be in my way, I am sure I'll get through. Tenho medo, já não ser alguém que sabe o que quero, que sempre sonhei chegou a acontecer. E eu nunca pensei que não viria a ser tudo aquilo que esperei. Saudades de saber quem sou e quem me escolheu, quem se afastou e desapareceu, deixou-me perdida, sozinha e esquecida num mundo maior. I'm afraid I'm no longer someone who knows what they want. All I ever dreamed of has just come and gone. Yet I'm still a child who hasn't grown up deep within my thoughts. Mas tenho esperança e um futuro melhor que eu própria hei de criar. Está escrito nas estrelas que o meu fado está para começar. I hold out the hope, the future that's only mine to decide. The stars are spelling out a fate that's yet to rise. Está escrito nas estrelas que o meu fado está para começar. Guess I'll try UK next.
Hey, Mom, Dad, can I talk to you guys real quick? It's only gonna take a second. Hi, guys. I love you. And I know I can tell you anything without fear of prosecution, so here we go. After I graduated high school, I was kind of going through it, and I never really gave you an explanation for that. So, why not right now? For everybody else watching this, hi, my name is Andrew Wire. I'm a 21-year-old kid from Sussex County, New Jersey. I know. Look, I don't mean to exclude you guys from what's going on today, but I'm just looking for a little bit of comfort with my family. As many of you know, there's a certain comfort with them that you can't reach with anyone else. And I needed comfort. You know, I lived recklessly for a really long time. Let's just go back to graduation, right? Say hello to the High Point Regional High School class of 2018! Classes! Homework! I live independently! I wish I was that excited. In reality, I was terrified. I was screaming and crying on the inside. Everything I knew was going to come to an end. All of my friends had to go to their respective colleges. You know, my theater school career was going to be over because I wasn't going to be there anymore. My high school girlfriend was going to break up with me because she had to go to Michigan State and I wasn't worth the 10-hour drive. The only thing that didn't end was this feeling that I had no control over what was going on. And I needed control. Looking back, I needed to grip my teeth into something and really regulate it. You know, maybe that's why it's called a controlled substance. Because the control that you think you have is actually just your addiction controlling you. Either way, I chose that. I should have been fulfilling my dreams and chasing my future. Instead, I turned to pills to help me cope with all the pain that I was feeling. And I drowned down there for a while. I should have known that in life we have people, we have loved ones that are there for us, who will help us no matter what. I'll never forget the day that you guys came up to me and said, hey, you know, they're doing a production of Spring Awakening at the local theater. You should audition for it. I remember rejecting that idea at first, but I went and I auditioned and I was cast as Melchior. And that meant that the entire theater was counting on me. I had a purpose again. It relit a flame in my soul that got me higher than any other drug ever could. I don't know where I would be right now if we hadn't had that talk. I certainly wouldn't be in this theater giving a really emotional conversation to them. Yeah. With how I was moving, I don't know if I would be here at all. I've got a roof over my head. I've got a warm place to sleep. Some nights I lie awake counting gifts instead of counting sheep. I've got a heart that can hold love. I've got a mind that can think. And there might be times when I lose the light and let my spirit sink, but I can't stay depressed. And I remember how I'm blessed, grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. In a city of strangers, I've got a family of friends. No matter what rocks and brambles fill the way, I know that they will stay until the end. I feel a hand holding my hand. No, it's not a hand you can see, but on the road to the promised land, this hand will shepherd me through delight and despair, holding tight and always there. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. It's not that I don't want a lot, or hope for more, or dream for more, but giving thanks for what I've got makes me so much happier than keeping score. In a world that can bring pain, I will still take each chance, for I believe that whatever the terrain, our feet can learn to dance. Whatever stone life may sling, grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. So in case you missed it, I'm truly blessed and duly grateful.
Hi, Mom, guess what? I just got casted. Annie Jr. Oh, cute little orphans, aren't you? No, Mom, the dog. Bottom of the totem pole. Always. When are things gonna go my way? Michaela, look out. Trying to navigate life with the cave is so dark. Lost inside her mind, simply trying to find herself. Broadway, New York City, grow up. I love to sing, but is my tune on the right pitch? I'm kicking and screaming at this point. Life's surreal, Act 2. Hey, Michaela, did you plan your future yet? What the fuck do I tell them? Yes, Miss Israel, I want to sing show tunes on a stage for the rest of my life. Where do I sign? I don't know about that, Michaela. Maybe you should apply major undefined. I'm kicking and screaming and throwing a fit. It's like my mouth is duct taped. Michaela, I'm done with your shit. It's all bright lights and high rises from here on out. You finally made it to the city, Michaela. So why the hell do I only feel doubt? Not good enough, can't do this, so back in my cave I go. A sea full of darkness. Hey, failure, why don't you just end this shit show? Do it. Failure, piercing my ears. Not skinny enough, not talented enough, not white enough. So am I not enough? Act 3. No, I'm drowning, screaming. Shit, can anybody hear me? Curtains closing. This is it. 3, 2, something grabs me with quickness. What the hell is this? Before I could yell, I was looking at, well, me. Except she was someone I never thought I could be. A strong black woman drinking generational curses. She's belting her heart out with a crowd of anxiously waits to hear what her next verse is. Michaela, you can do this, but trust, it will be rough. And now I'm welcomed by a sea full of people telling me that I am enough. Look at me. Look at me. I am changing. Trying every way I can. I am changing. I'll be better than I am. I'm trying to find a way to understand, but I need you. I need you. I need a hand. I am changing. Seeing everything so clear, I am changing. Gonna start right now, right here. I'm hoping to work it out, and I know I can, but I need you. I need a hand. All my life, I've been a fool who said I could do it all alone. How many good friends have I already lost? How many bad nights have I known? Walking down that wrong road, there was nothing I could find. All those years of darkness couldn't make a person blind, but now I can see I am changing. Trying every way I can, I am changing. I'll be better than I am, but I need a friend to help me start all over again. That would be just fine. I know it's gonna work out. maybe there's some reason to believe you'll be okay. Just when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand. And oh, someone will come running, and I know will take you. Even when the dark comes crashing through, gonna need a friend to carry you. When you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So when the sun comes streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found. 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 There's a place where you don't have to feel unknown. And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone. If you only say the word, from across the silence, your voice is heard. Oh, someone will come running to take you home. Take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found. Out of the shadows of morning. Suddenly I see that all is new, all is new. You are not alone, you are not alone, you are not alone.